I hope you can all hear me. Yeah. It's a great honour that you've done me, Dean, by inviting me to join the roster of speakers this evening. After a loose cannon, a wizard from Oz, a green goddess, and undoubtedly the most powerful dean in Westminster, it's a pleasure to join that roster. And can I also thank the other Dean of Westminster, the chapter, and everyone for allowing us to meet here in these beautiful, historic, and moving surroundings. I think it's only fair, given that we are in this wonderful, religiously blessed setting, if I make a confession. There have, over the course of the last few weeks and days, been rumours circulating in Westminster. And I would like to put them at last to rest. It is absolutely true that I was not the first choice speaker this evening. Someone much better looking, much more charismatic, much more authoritative, much more influential was down to speak this evening. Of the members of the government, that's about every single one of them. But because of the adhesion to self-isolation principles, I'm afraid that that other minister isn't able to join us this evening, and so I am, and this has been something of a theme of this summer, a last-minute substitute. Now, some last-minute substitutes this year haven't necessarily fulfilled all of the hope vested in them. But nevertheless, even when they got things wrong, people forgave them. Because they were generous-hearted, the people who were doing the forgiving, that is, and because we all recognized that ultimately, when it comes to any endeavor, it's a team sport that ensures that you win. And there is no better team to celebrate, no more fantastic team of which to feel even a related part than the policy exchange team. Now, Dean mentioned the role that I played in helping to set up Policy Exchange way back 19 years ago in 2002, and at that time, it was a peripheral think tank of almost negligible influence. I was at its helm for 3 years, and when I left, it was a political think tank of genuinely negligible influence. But then, a string of talented directors took over. Some of them now sit on the green benches, people like Neil O'Brien and Anthony Brown. Some of them, of course, Dean, like yourself, sit on the red benches. And you were ably assisted along the way by chairmen like Charles Moore, like David Frum, and of course, like Alexander Downer, who provided the stewardship and the support to ensure that Policy Exchange could dominate the political scene in the way that it does at the moment. Policy Exchange as a think tank has been singled out this year by Ian Dale on Conservative Home, by Adrian Waldridge as Badgett in The Economist, and by a string of other commentators as simply the single most influential think tank in the United Kingdom. And it's also the case that Policy Exchange alumni are at the centre of power in British politics. The Chancellor's principal policy advisor, the head of the Downing Street Policy Unit, the woman, the civil servant, who is in charge of a programme of reform at the heart of government, transforming how we recruit and train our civil servants, all of them, like so many others, Policy Exchange alumni. Dean has managed, through a skill at talent spotting, coaching, and then deployment of talent, which ranks with Gareth Southgate, he has been able to make sure that Policy Exchange's influence for good has been disseminated widely, and above all, a commitment to rigour, to ideas, to shifting the dial in public life through argument, persuasion, and the deployment of fact have become so dominant. But Policy Exchange's success would not have been possible without so many people who are here tonight, literally more people than I can mention. Members of Parliament, past and present, who supported it. Journalists, commentators, thinkers, and enthusiasts for ideas who are gathered here, who have all seen in Policy Exchange a furnace of intellectual creativity. But also business people who've recognised that it's only through playing their role in supporting intellectual endeavour that we can see the progress to which we are all attached. And that's why, in particular, I would like to thank the team from Lombard Odier for supporting the event this evening, And I'd like to thank all those who have supported policy exchange through the years. The investment that you have made has ensured that in every area that Dean mentioned, from education to space, from the environment to transport, better ideas are dominating our thinking, better outcomes are the aims for which ministers are aiming, and a better Britain is being built as a result of those great ideas. So, as Dean said, 1/3 of think tanks' work is, or perhaps a quarter, is thinking, 2/3 or 3/4 is entertaining. I want, therefore, to ensure that no more than a quarter of this evening is taken up by speeches so that you can all move on to the real business of tonight, which is entertainment. But as you all share a glass, share a thought, share a perspective, and share your insights, remember this. The intellectual exchange that Dean and a succession of policy exchange directors have been responsible for have ensured that one of the single most important things in public life has been affirmed powerfully every day. Ideas matter. It may well be that for those of us who are in politics and those of us who cover politics, that it's the personalities, that it's the ups and downs of individual reputations which interest. But ultimately, it is ideas that matter. A belief in freedom, personal responsibility, limited government, refurbishing those ideas for a new century and new challenges. That's the single most important thing in politics, and that's why Dean is one of the single most important men in British public life. Thank you all very much.